So it's pretty dead right now when it comes to GS, but we have got a little bit of rain during this drought, and that rain comes in the form of KOB Dream Awakenings. I'm talking about Berwick, Vox, and even Rivi. Of course, everybody got a flat buff across the board with their modifiers, as you see here with Berwick, but one thing that is different is of course their Dream Evolution passives. Berwick has two, the Fire Dream and the Water Dream. The Fire Dream gives him more damage while also buffing up his art gauge as long as you're above an HP threshold, and the Water Dream is all about giving yourself more art gauge and even buffing up skill CT for the whole team. Both of these dreams are okay. Me personally, I think the Water Dream might be a little bit better at certain times, especially if you take him against fights where he's going to be useful in Miasma. But the main problem that I have with this is that if you use him in a stage with Miasma where you need the skill CT recovery, you're not going to be able to get the benefit of the increased on-100 art gauge, so it kind of counteracts itself in certain stages. Still, the 100 art gauge would be really nice in any type of nuking situation, so you can instantly get him into his true art. Since Berwick is able to give himself 200 art gauge once he activates Magia Drive, this makes him one of the fastest Blood Knights in the game. But one thing I will say though, 120% damage up to fire units is pretty freaking good. Next is my girl Rivi, and they actually kind of went a little crazy with her. So of course, modifier buffs, a little bit higher percentages on crit rates and stuff like that, but now super crits. You heard me right. She is, I think, the first Awoken character to have super crits in the kit. Granted, it's only 30%, but it still allows her to hit insanely hard. You remember the whole thing with Rivi is that she took more damage whenever she activated Magia Drive. They took that away from her. She no longer increases the amount of damage that she takes when she's in her Magia Drive. Me, myself, I like the buff. I think in gameplay-wise, it suits her really well. Kit-wise and kind of the philosophy of this character being an all-out powerhouse, but with no defense, kind of hurts her and just turns her into another attacker with no type of uniqueness, which, I don't know, I'm like 50-50 on it. She also got two Dream Evolution passives to go with it, the Water Dream and the Earth Dream. Water Dream gives you more damage against water enemies and buffs up your own skill CT recovery, while the Earth Dream gives you more equipment CT and you're able to deal more damage when the enemy's HP is below 30% HP. This is a big one though, the man himself, Vox. Of course, just like all the other characters, Vox got modifier buffs and actually going up to a pretty sizable modifier now, 62k instead of 45,000. But the main thing here are his two Dream Evolution passives. He has a Water Dream and a Light Dream. The Water Dream is buffing up all allies crit damage by 30% and increasing your own art gauge by 1 per second, while the Light Dream is giving you more arts at the start of the quest, exactly 200 art gauge, so you can go right into Magia, and buffing up your own accuracy rate by 30%. Both of these, in my opinion, actually really have a lot of use. Having 200 art gauge at the start of the quest means that you can actually use Vox in nuking situations now, which before was not really possible, because you could, as soon as you load into a quest, you pop your Magia Drive, you pop all your support equips, you have Vox's true art, and then you can just go straight into it to get the crit rate and everything else that you may want. And overall, if I had to pick one or the other, having Vox give crit damage while also arts, I think really fits his role a little bit better. Since he is kind of this all-arounder, he doesn't really excel at one thing. He's kind of just playing all sides. Giving crit damage to him just makes him a little bit more supportive and a little bit more helpful. Next is my man Swick. Modifier changes, as you already know. And his two Dream Evolution passives are kind of a little whack. He has the Fire Dream, which gives him more stats res and also buffs up all fire allies art gauge by 2 per second. And then he has the Earth Dream, which buffs up his damage against gods by 100%, and you increase your own equipment CT recovery by 15%. Yeah, Fire Dream seems a lot better than the Earth Dream here, but I will say too, Earth Dream isn't too bad. Equipment CT recovery on this unit is actually somewhat solid since he does have a 5-star defense and a 4-star support. And the last unit here, yes, you heard me right, the last one is actually Leon. Leon got some pretty decent changes, as seen here, but the main thing is that she has two passives, one that's buffing up her own equipment CT and buffing up demon allies art gauge by 2 per second, and she has a second dream that buffs up her crit rate by 50% and increase all allies dark res by 20%. I think this is possibly one of the worst dream evolutions out of them all. One thing that I will say that is kind of massive with this unit are her modifier changes and her critical damage buff changes, but the two dream evolution passives are somewhat lackluster to me. But yeah, you heard me right, that's actually all the characters, which means we're missing Duke, Rosetta, and Thetis. Are these characters next? Are they not going to Dream Evolution those characters or what? Especially Thetis. So we'll have to see when they eventually drop those Dream Awakenings. Really excited for Thetis' Dream Awakening. I think they could make that character crazy broken with his tanking, but we'll have to see. He's already pretty strong still to this day. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this video. Tell me down below what you guys think about all the Dream Awakenings. Are you liking them? Are you not? Or are they kind of whatever to you? Also, if you enjoyed this video, have everyone check out either one of the other videos popping on the screen right now. Great content. Guarantee you love them. Oh, and one more thing before you leave. Don't forget to drink water.